Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here for this event, this Black History Month event. So I'm Abubakar Koyate, the chairman of the Newark African Commission. So it's a pleasure to have you today here. And so we choose to make it a little bit different this year. No music, no kumbaya, but we want really to inform our people, to educate them about why it's important to be a homeowner versus being a renter. You know, this city is blessed to have a mayor who is very progressive, who is giving us information for our own well-being, for ourselves, our families. So it's time for us to embrace what he's doing and try to organize ourselves and be a homeowner. You don't want to be a renter all your life, and because what the conversation is about creating some wealth for ourselves. So I think it begins by being a homeowner. So we have two talented people here who are gonna give us the information. And you know, what I can say, first, I forgot to say Happy Black History Month to everybody. Yeah, we choose this way to celebrate. And we want to tell to our people, don't be afraid, even if you have a bad credit, even if you're not wealthy, you're not rich, it doesn't matter. You have people here who get the knowledge to clean your credit, to give you information, knowledge and everything to overcome all your shortcomings. So don't be afraid, just be, take your decision, be firm on that. You want to get a house, and there's a way. The city is offering also some grants. You know, you have a grant for states. So I don't know all the details, but I'm sure we have the right people. Mr. Sama Jamba, who is the vice president also of the African Commission, and this beautiful young lady, remind me your name?
Crystal Wallace.
Crystal Wallace, she's a talented person also, so we are lucky. So I'm gonna give them the floor, they have the mic, it's all yours, and thank you for being here. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause, for being here, and we're waiting for other people who are coming from work. Come and get the information, come and get the wealth, because for me, information is power, you know that, so come and join us. Thank you.
Thank you, President Abubakar. Thank you very much. So my name is Sama Jangba. Crystal Wallace is my partner in this, in this presentation. We're here to speak to you about home ownership, buying homes. And this is under the auspices of the Newark African Commission and the City of Newark. We want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak to you. We want to thank you for coming here, for taking time out of your busy schedule. Come listen to us speak to you about home ownership. I'm a mortgage advisor. Crystal is a realtor with Option One Realty. So she's going to talk about how to buy houses. She's going to help you look for a house. I'm going to get you the money to buy the house. Okay. Without further ado, please, I'd like to introduce Crystal Wallace to you.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good, because I'm loud. All right. Okay, so let's talk about something very important. We're going to talk about renting versus owning, right? So we got a split screen here.
Oh, I'll give you the wrong marker.
First, I want to thank you for all of you for coming. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules. You could have been doing a million other things, but we appreciate you coming. This information, yes, is important. It's important for many reasons, right? We're talking about home ownership. We're talking about versus renting. So two things that's very important. Let me try this again. We're gonna split the screen. There we go. So on one end, we will have rent. Another end, we'll have owning. 2022, for let's say a 3-bedroom apartment, how much would you say would be the average amount of rent in Newark? Just yell it out.
$2,000.
$2,000, perfect. $2,000. 3-bedroom. I would say 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. Okay? $2,000. Okay. Now, how about today? How about today? 3-bedroom in Newark. 3,000. That's one. Let me a little lower.
25.
25. Okay, I'll say 26. $2,600 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It went up, right? Now, in order to get this apartment, here's some things you gotta have. So you gotta have a credit score, right? What's the credit? Just yell it out. How much you think? No, not 680. 680 FICO score. 680 FICO. Now you also gotta have a security deposit. So security is usually a month and a half's rent. So I need my phone, excuse me. I'm good at math, but I don't want to prove it.
Some of us are going to join you.
Okay. 26 and 13, thank you. Somebody got it.
Very good.
3,900, thank you. Sister in the back, she got it. 3,900. 3,900. That's for security deposit. Now, you have to pay security deposit. You have first month's rent. First month's rent is 2,600. Realtor fee, 26. Now, I should have put that first. 26 for a realtor fee, broker fee, right? So 3,900 plus 2,600 plus 2,600. That's 9,100. We're not done yet. You got to apply for that apartment. $50 application fee. Okay? So you're looking at $9,150 to move in. You haven't even eaten yet. So $9,150. Now let's times that by 12 months. That's, hold up. Excuse me. 26 times by 12 months. That's 31,200. Okay? Now, in order to get this apartment, you're saying 680 FICO. Now they're requiring tenants to have tenant insurance. So that's like $15 extra a month on top of the $2,600. Some places include parking, some places don't. If they include parking, guess what? It's not cheap, it's not free. So you're looking at an additional $100, $50 a month, at least $50, but probably another $100. You can tack that on per month too. Don't have a dog or a cat, they charge you for that too. And you don't own anything, right? You paid $31,200 for the year, and this is not your place. Can't do nothing with it. Okay. Now, owning a house. Okay. Let's just say you buy a house and you put down 6%. So you buy a $300,000 house. Now you put down 6%. No, excuse me, total is 6%. 3.5% down. And let's just say for closing costs is 2.5%. So for closing costs, let's just say. So 3.5 of 300,000. That's 10,500. That's for down payment. Are you with me? Closing costs. Let's just say it's 2%. 2.5%. That's 7,500. So 18,000. Now Sam's going to talk to you more about down payment assistance programs, but let's say 10,000 was waived, the 10,500 was waived. All you have to come to the table is with 7,500 for closing costs, right?
Yeah.
That's cheaper than you would for a house. Okay, I'm not done yet. Let me make my point even stronger. What's a FICO that you need to qualify today for a house? Yell it out. 580. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. 580. You want to get an FHA loan? Yeah. All you need is a 580 FICO score. Okay? And then guess what? You need ID, social, taxes. 2 years. Social, and then bank statements. Two, let's say, or a month, depending on the bank, month, let's say, and then a month or two, and then 1 month pay stubs.
What about business loan?
Tax returns, bank statements. So every bank is different, but yes. Let the mortgage guy answer that question.
So you're self-employed, right?
Yes.
Right. There are a lot of programs for self-employed people. There's a program where we can take your tax returns and get you, you need 2 years tax returns, a year-to-date financial statement, depending on when in the year they're getting a loan for you, and we're good to go. Now, also, there's another program. It's called the bank statement program. Let's say you want a laundromat. You really make $200,000, but you report $30,000. You want to buy a $500,000 home. The $200,000 is not going to. Your $30,000 that you report, you're not going to qualify. There's another program called the bank statement program. There's another program called the bank statement program where, we take your 12 months bank statements. You want a laundromat, you are depositing money into the account. And then we apply a factor based on the industry. And then we come up with your income. Did I answer your question?
Yes. I just wanted to say that, where she mentioned about pay stub.
Right.
So, for a small sole proprietorship that pays
Right.
that kind of a thing.
Yes.
So how do you?
We use a year-to-date financial statement. So let's say today is February 2023, right? You have your tax returns for 2021, and you are preparing your tax returns for 2022, and then you tell the accountant to give you a year-to-date financial statement. If you have not yet started preparing your 2022 tax returns, we use your 2020, 2021, and the year-to-date. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's the mortgage guy. He's going to do that. Now pause. You can't just skip over this. Okay? This is what we're spending, and you're paying someone else's mortgage. You could pay yourself, right?
Yeah.
At least in this situation, you walk away with equity. In this situation, you don't own anything. You have to talk to your landlord, depending on the landlord, whether you even can paint your apartment. In this situation, you do what you want. Okay, so don't be afraid of this situation because of the money down. In the long run, it's going to make sense. We haven't gotten into monthly payments because guess what? The higher your credit score, the cheaper your monthly payment.
That's correct. You get a better interest rate. But also, I've got to say one thing. If your score is below 580, we'll fix your credit, get you 580.
Okay, we're going to talk about credit. Okay. So we don't want to skip over that. Let's make sure that we are looking at that. So we talked about the qualification. Yes, sir.
I have a question. If the houses, like the houses on the market, right, today are more than 300, right?
Okay.
So what is it that I can do, like if the mortgage, because if we double those numbers, let's say I couldn't afford it, is there anything that I can do to make the mortgage more affordable? Like is there a mortgage product out there?
Sure. You can get a co-borrower. So the question is, can we, let's say he couldn't find a house for $300,000. He wants to get a more expensive house. So so he's saying, what can he do to make it more affordable? You can get a co-borrower. And that'll help you with your buying power. So if you have someone, let's say if you make $50,000 by yourself and your buying power, let's say you only make $250, you can only qualify for $250, $300, you can get someone else to go on with you and you can increase your buying power. So, but we're talking about houses in Newark. You can find a house in Newark for $300,000. This I know. One more thing. Does this look scary to you? This scenario here? No, this scenario, does that look scary to you?
No.
It scares me because guess what? In just a year, it's going up. The rental price is going up. It's not going to go back down. Let's say it's not going to go down. It's going to keep continuing going up. The goal is to get ahead of the tide that's coming. It's already here, actually. You're talking about rent in Newark. Oh, forget it. Forget it. It's not affordable for many people to live where they were living or to move to let's say a better apartment. You're talking about anywhere upward to $2,600. There are apartments. I rented out an apartment. It was a 5-bedroom apartment on South 14th Street. This was maybe 4 months ago. Guess how much I rented it out for? Just take a wild guess. 5 bedrooms. 5 bedrooms.
2,300.
3,300. That's correct. On South 14th Street, the number block. Okay, 3,300. It's not as affordable as it used to be to live in Newark anymore. If you're talking about rent. But it is attainable to save this to get to where you want to go. I'm going to erase this now. Y'all got it? All right. Okay. All right, so we looked at the difference between renting and owning. Now, we mentioned something. We talked about FHA briefly. I said you can qualify for FHA loan. Does anyone know what FHA is?
No.
Okay.
So it's no.
Okay. FHA loans. Now, the different types of FHA loans, right? You have some that are for veterans. You have called VA loans. And then you have what's called a FHA 203K. That's a construction loan. Yes. So it is for first-time home buyers. Okay, so it's a federal, I have some handouts here. 1 second. Ah, I have it here. 1 second. I need a bigger podium, y'all. 1 second. All right. So, yeah, it is for first-time home buyers, and it was created in 1934. It's a federal or government program. Now, it was, guess who it was established for? Not anyone in this room. 1968 was a year that changed the face of FHA. It's for people who want to purchase in moderately low-income neighborhoods. It's for, people who look differently. Now, it's a HUD program for the housing of urban development. So if you live in an area that was at risk, then yes, you should use this to this FHA program to buy your first house. But then we had a certain thing called redlining, where people of color, that's Black, Hispanic, Filipino, Indian, any immigrant, were denied this loan. You were redlined. You were told you could not live or use this particular loan. You were told that you couldn't afford it. You were told you can't live here, or you can live here and not here. Or if you're Black and you live in New York, you can stay in Harlem. Now, this is not me saying, this is history. This is Black History Month, right? Okay. So, it's a HUD, housing and urban development. Are you with me? Now, in 1968, I had to take a broker's course. Everything was about 1968, 1968, 1968. 1968 changed the face of the FHA loan program. The people who were not qualified for it before now can use it sometimes. Because then there were still certain banks, large name banks that I won't name, that were still discriminating against people of color. It didn't matter. If you were immigrant, not from this country, right? You cannot qualify for that. How are you going to get a house? Doesn't matter. I don't care. Was the general consensus. So now it's different. So we had another date in 1996. There were other protected classes that were added to it. You're talking about familiar status. You're talking about if the person is handicapped or whatever the case is. If you are woman or whoever, other classes were now protected under that law. The reason why we have those laws was because there were so many people that were discriminated against. But now we do have it. And my thing is, why not use it? Why not use it? Why would we still want to rent if we can use it? Now, for VA loans, you have to be a former person in the military. For 203K, let's say you had a house that was in Maine. It was a distressed house, right? And you knew a contractor, or you were a contractor yourself. You can use a 203K loan by taking the bank's money and, let's say, spending $100,000, $50,000, whatever it is, to fix up that particular house, and still be under the FHA guidelines. Under FHA guidelines, it has to be move-in ready. You cannot buy a distressed house without using a 203K. You can't use FHA loan on a house that's not move-in ready. You know what I mean by move-in ready? If the walls, if the floor is about to cave in, the roof about to fly off, you can't use it. it won't go, it won't pass. Now there are some things that you can use, I'm gonna get to you. There are some things that you can fix up before moving in. Like let's say if there's a matter of a railing being put in the house, you can have a railing being put in on the stairs. Or if there's chip paint, you can scrape off the paint, repaint it for you to buy the house. But typically you can't use that unless the house is moving ready, yes?
No, I was going to say, it can't be a house that you're getting ready to flip. Is that correct?
So the answer to it is no. There are some people that do what they want, but no, the answer to it is no. When you have an FHA loan, you typically have to stay there for at least a year. Is that correct? So, yeah, you have to stay there for at least a year. You have to stay there, then after the year, you can rent it out. You can flip it, whatever you want to do with it. So it's up to you. You can sell it. Now, here's the thing. Here's the elephant in the room. Is it still a good time to buy a house? That's what we all want to know. Is it still a good time to purchase a home with the interest rates being what it is? Well, first of all, the interest rates have gone down some. That's number one. Number two, you buy a house in 2023. 2024, 2025, the interest rates go down. You can refinance that house and get a lower rate. Yes. You're married to the house, not the rate. So if there's something with, if you say, okay, I don't want this this high interest rate on my house anymore, then get out of it. Okay? He could talk to you more about refinancing. The main point here is you don't want to wait too long before you make your move. If you're looking to move, the time is now. Now here's the thing. Is it a good time for you to purchase a house? I wouldn't know. You know, it depends on your credit and how much money you have in reserves and such like that. But is it still a good time to buy a house? Yes. And not only that, you don't want to wait until the last minute because rents are going up, as we already saw. I could show you, but we could talk more about it offline. I did have something I wanted to read to you. Okay. Before I leave you, I just wanted to read you something very quickly. Oop. Always happens. Okay. Are you with me? Okay. What? Oh, no, I got it. I was just gonna leave it there until I got finished. Okay, I'm gonna turn you guys over to Sam, but before I leave you, I just wanted to read you a quick poem. I wasn't prepared. Okay. I wasn't prepared for yesterday. I wasn't prepared for yesterday, not because I had no desire or no will, but because I was uninformed. I had all the opportunities available to me. I just didn't know it. Although the signs were everywhere and the signals were glaring, staring me right in the face, my eyes were closed. Many resources I ignored. I cut off my face to spite my nose. History repeating itself, I suppose. I wasn't prepared for yesterday. Like many who came before me, I waited until the last minute. When the minute came, it was gone. Lack of preparation breeds failure. Failure breeds contempt. Now you tell me who's wrong. I didn't take the time to take advantage of all the knowledge right in front of me. I sat back complacent with my feet up, going through the motions with a smile. All the while, time was ticking when others went ahead with glee. I wasn't prepared for yesterday. So now what do? I can't go back in time to fix it. It's too late. But I can start today. I can plan, I can work towards it, and this time I will not wait. For tomorrow or for those who plan for it today. Now, ain't that great? So, here you go. Okay. Alrighty. There's my people.
Great. One more time, give her a hand.
So, who owns their home here right now? How many homeowners do we have here? Congratulations, you guys should buy investment properties. Okay? And those of you that don't own homes, you should buy a house. Newark is a gold mine. Okay? The gold is real estate. I've been all over the world. I've not seen any city that has so many multi-family homes and single-family homes. Okay? Now, also there's a lot of construction going on in Newark. Right now, there's $5 billion worth of construction going on in Newark. You want a piece of the $5 billion?
Yes.
You know how to get it?
No.
We all want some.
One song, but we don't have.
Buy real estate. Buy real estate. Houses that are worth $500,000 now were worth $200,000 10 years ago. Okay, with appreciation, it is where it is now. The houses that people are saying are expensive now, $500,000, in 10 years they're going to be $1 million. All right, houses that are in New Jersey that are $700,000 in New York is $1.5 million. I have a client who had $300,000 in the bank, 700 FICO score. There's a there's several three families on Grove Street by the cemetery, okay? There was one going for $700,000. He offered the asking price. Somebody from New York came and offered $800,000. He lost it. Another story, I had a friend that built a three-family on South 18th Street. Guess how much he sold it for?
How much?
I want you to guess.
$800,000.
$800,000, correct. And somebody came and offered him $900,000 to kill the other deal. All right, so there's a housing shortage, inventory shortage, okay, right now, okay? That's why the rents are going through the roof. That's why the prices of houses are going through the roof. So I heard Crystal talking about this is the best time. This is the best time to buy real estate. Forget about what the press says about interest rate and all that. Like Crystal said, you're buying the house. You're not buying the rate. Okay, when rates drop, you can refinance and you save money. I've been in the mortgage business for 27 years. I got in the mortgage business in '95. I've been in financial services for 36 years, since '86. When I got into the mortgage business, the interest rates was 11%, 12%, 13%. So 7%, 8%, that's a gift. Okay? So don't let the press blind you. Right now, there's 11,000 housing units being built in Newark right now. In Week by Freely Heights Avenue, there's going to be a new train station. It's going to be the first, and it's going to be the first and last train station before and from Newark Airport. Okay, they are building Lionsgate Movie Production Center. That's going to change Newark. We're going to talk about it. Newark is going to be like Hollywood. Okay, right now only 25% of Newark residents own their homes, and 50% of the Newark residents are rent-burdened. A rent-burdened person is somebody who spends more than 30% of their income on rent. Okay, and then also that thing is blocking it. But real estate in Newark has appreciated at a rate of 10%, and sometimes 15% annually, okay? Oh, thank you. Thank you. And the bottom line is Newark is getting gentrified.
What does gentrification mean, sir?
Gentrification means that you have a town like Newark, okay? And everything was going nice and easy, and then all of a sudden, people who have money, people who can afford houses more than the incumbents, move into town. Yeah, they move. Yeah, they take over. Okay, and then it makes gentrification can be a blessing and a curse. It's a curse if you're a tenant. It's a blessing if you own your house. Okay, because there's appreciation. You can collect rent. You can become a landlord. You can increase. You know what I mean, right? Right. So we're going to talk about gentrification and how Newark is getting gentrified. Did I answer your question?
Yes, please, sir.
All right. I got this wrong. I said 58% of Newark homes are housing cost burdened, and African American and Latino populations are disproportionately affected. Okay? The average Newark homeowner only has 25% equity in their property. In other towns, folks own the house outright, or they have 50% equity. So our goal here, okay, is to increase the amount of folks that own their homes in Newark and to create wealth, to show folks how to create wealth in real estate. Real estate, from time immemorial, anywhere in the world, real estate is the way that people create wealth, people accumulate wealth, okay? And like I said, we happen to be in a gold mine, and the Ras Baraka administration is doing whatever they can do to help with the situation, okay? Yes?
The United States, the average homeowner has only 25% equity as a share of their home values.
Right.
I don't understand what.
Let's say you have a house.
Yeah.
The house is worth, let's use easy numbers. The house is worth $100,000, okay? You owe $90,000 on the house. You only have 10% equity in the house, okay? That same house, if you owe $75,000, you have 25% equity in the house. If you owe $50,000, you have 50% equity in the house. The way you accumulate wealth in life is to have as much equity as you can in your house. Understand it? Okay.
He has a question.
Oh,
I have a question. With the 25%, does that affect the PMI?
good question. So what is PMI? We're going to go over PMI. PMI is private mortgage insurance, okay? So, Crystal, PMI is private mortgage insurance, okay? And it does affect the PMI, but I'll explain to you how it affects it does affect the PMI. So when you borrow more than 80% loan to value, okay? Let's say FHA. Crystal said you put down 3.5%, okay? So you're borrowing 96.5% of the house, right? So the bank buys insurance to mitigate the risk of lending you that much money, okay? So let's say you have, by law, when you have 80% equity, is that what? No, the other way around. When you have 20% equity in the house, then the PMI drops. But now the bank is not going to automatically drop the PMI. So what you have to do is you have to call the bank and ask them to drop the PMI. If they don't drop it, you refinance, you go to another bank, and then your PMI gets eliminated. Understand? Okay, so that's what PMI is. You're welcome. Okay, so these are the housing goals of the Ras Baraka administration to mitigate, to create affordable housing in Newark. They're going to be building 3,000 new homes in all 5 wards by 2026, and 8,000 new homes by 2032. This is the city, the city initiative. Okay, they're going to convey all city-controlled properties. But by 2026, there's going to be 30% all city. Let's say you buy a piece of property from the city and you build a 100-unit building. They're going to say 30% of that has to be affordable housing. Okay, that's a big deal. Most towns don't have that. Okay, that makes your housing affordable. And then they're also going to support 1,500 new and 200 existing low and moderate income homeowners. I'm going to talk some more about the programs that the current Ras Baraka administration has to help with financing or purchasing homes. They're going to support 10,000 vulnerable or unsheltered households annually by 2026. So that's a good thing. Okay, remember I said gentrification can be a curse, so this helps. But you got to own, you all have to buy your own homes. Okay, that's the bottom line. Newark has secured financing for these initiatives, okay? They've secured $10 million for acquisition and down payment assistance. I'm going to speak to you about down payment assistance. They secured $150,000 from the Victoria Foundation. They are expecting $150,000, and they have requested $100 million from the state budget. That's a big deal. They're also creating laws that will make housing affordable. Let's say, there's a lot of vacant properties in Newark. They're going to start charging the owners fees for having vacant properties. And then 50% of the city-owned homes is going to be sold to nonprofits, okay? And those nonprofits are going to create affordable housing, okay? Now, the bottom three items have not yet been introduced, but it's in the works. If any landlord increases the rent by more than 5%, they're going to be charged 5% a fee. Also to be introduced, there's going to be a zoning ordinance for housing, for Newark housing units. So let's say you own a building with 100 homes, okay? And then there's a 20% affordable housing. What they're saying is the city is going to manage that 20%, not the landlord, okay? That way they can make sure that, folks don't suffer. People are not cursed by the gentrification. Sure.
So just to that point, the 5%, legally, you're not supposed to raise it past 5%, okay? 5% increase in a building. You're not supposed to. Now, when you have an apartment building as a landlord, you are supposed to have it registered, right? You're supposed to have it registered right here with the city. If you own it in Newark, right here with the city.
Rent control office.
Rent control.
Yes, in the rent control office.
He used to work for rent.
You work for, there you go.
He used to.
Oh, no kidding,
Right
okay.
now he got a promotion.
Oh, excuse me. So yes, you have to have it. So he knows you're supposed to have it registered. And so, like, let's say if you're a landlord, you don't have it registered with the city. You can't ask the city to now back you if you want to evict them. You can't do it. You have to have it registered.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
This is so important. So there's something called the CPI. CPI, that's a rate that comes like every month of the year. Consumer Price Index, yes, CPI, sorry, I didn't say it. But every month, there is a different CPI. It can be the same, maybe 2 months, consecutive months, can have like 2% or 1 point something percent or 3%. So it changes every month. So landlord, normally they have to follow the CPI when they raise the rent. But before they raise the rent, they need to be registered with the rent control office of the city. So if you're not registered, let's say if your owner non-occupied, you don't live in your house, you need to be registered before you raise the rent. And you have to raise the rent in the limit. You cannot pass the CPI. If the CPI say 3%, you can raise maximum to 3. If you want, you can raise the rent 1%. That's fine, but you cannot pass the 3%. So to be able to raise your rent, you need to be registered with the rent control office. So and you have to renew your registration every year. It's once a year. So if your landlord is not registered, it cannot raise the rent. So now, if you owner occupy till four family, 1 to 4 family. So you have to be registered also because the city wants everybody to be registered. But in this case, you can pass the CPI. You don't have to follow the CPI because you owner occupy 1 to 4 family. You don't have to follow the CPI. If they say 3%, you can go above because you owner occupy 1 to 4 family. But above 4 family, you're under a regular owner. That's all.
Abubakar, you have a question.
Yeah, if you have the green card, right? You have to get the green card from the state.
No, that's a state because the city, they don't more.
Right, no, I understand, but my question is, do I still have to register my place with the city, even if I am having inspections for the green card? Yeah.
Absolutely, you have to be registered with the city of Newark. Yeah.
She has a question also.
You said we should register. The register.
That's the. To be clear, every homeowner, it doesn't matter, owner, occupier or not, you need to be registered.
Second question is, you said it has to be renewed. Is that a fee every time you renew?
Oh, that's a very good question. Okay, let's say, okay, there are two cases. Let's say you never ever register. You've been living, okay, you've been the owner of the house for like 10, 15 years. You never ever register your house. Yes, you have to come to rent control office, register your house, and you have to pay a fee of $100. I think it didn't change. It's still $100. You have to pay by money order or check. The City of Newark Rent Control Board. You have to do that. And if you owner occupy 1 to 4 family, because you owner occupy, you can come register for free. You have just to, in this case, you have to show that you are owner occupied by your driver license. You need, I think you need 6 points, no, 4 points. Your driver license and it depends on your driver license and your vital prints here that you can get from the tax assessor office. So that's because the driver license is 4 points, and this paper from the tax assessor is 2 points. So you need 6 points totally. But there's other ways. If you don't have, I think cable bills gives you also 2 points. And utility bills give you 1 point.
Yes, sir.
1 point only. So you have to complete that with your bank statement to reach 2 points. So let's say if you're not a legal, you're not, let's say you're an immigrant and you don't have a green card, you don't have a state ID, you still can go to get a Newark ID here, on what's the address? 394 University. You can go get a Newark ID. It doesn't cost too much, $20. You just bring some proof of residency, yeah, and then yes, you go by that. So you still can, some immigrants are here. They don't know, they get homes, So this city, that's why Newark is a sanctuary city, make it easier for everybody to live in this town. So people can take advantage. As long as they have a Newark ID, just $20, that's it. They're legal in Newark. Yeah, so thank you so much.
You're welcome, thank you. Round of applause for the president. So now we're going to talk about New Jersey housing trends, okay? As of May 2022, the average price of a home in New Jersey is approximately $462,000, okay? Values are going up at a rate of 15.8%. This information is on Zillow. Okay. The reason why, there's several reasons why rent and housing prices is going up. It has to do with population, okay? In 2010, the population of Newark was 270,000. In 2022 or 2023, it is 320,000. This is according to the census. Now, the census only counts people that they can count. If somebody doesn't open the door for them, they don't count them. So by my estimation, there are 400,000 people in Newark, okay? And we are not building enough houses to accommodate the 400,000 people. That's one reason why values of homes are going through the roof and rent is increasing exponentially. Now, in 50% of municipalities in North America, the population is actually decreasing, okay? In cities like Boston, Cleveland, Los Angeles, the cities are listed there, the population is decreasing, okay? Newark is a booming town, so everybody's moving into Newark. That is the bottom line. Another reason why homes are expensive, LLCs, corporations are buying homes. Okay, that's who you're competing against. They have cash, they have equity, Wall Street, they raise money and buy homes. Okay, they make more money buying homes than they make on Wall Street. All right, so this is, I don't know if you recognize this building. This is One Theater Square. It's the building that's across from New Jersey Park, okay? How much do you think a one-bedroom goes for in this building?
$3,000.
That's it, $3,000. What about a two-bedroom? $5,000. What about a three-bedroom? What about a three-bedroom? How much? $7,000. Now, the people in there are not Newark incumbents, okay? Penn Station was designated as a transit village, okay? So that's how come a lot of money is being pumped into the area around Penn Station. Shaquille O'Neal is building, all those skyscrapers going up. So the people that live there are people that work on Wall Street, okay? You see they build a little tram to accommodate them. So somebody lives there, they come out of the apartment, they get on a tram, they're in the city. In New York City, a similar similar three-bedroom will go for $10,000, $12,000. So they see this here, and then they pick it up. There's a waiting list. There are 220 apartments in this building. There's a waiting list. And then anytime somebody moves out, the rent goes up. So they pray that you move out. This is 50 Rector Park, Shaquille O'Neal's building, same thing. This is the new building that Shaquille O'Neal is building, 777 MacArthur Highway on Route 21, the same thing. Okay? Now, this is the transit village that's going to be built where the Bear Stadium used to be. This is a rendering. They're going to be building 4,200 apartments. Okay? This is Lionsgate Studio. I was talking to you about it, the movie production center that they're building on Freely Heights Avenue. And you see, corporations don't just do things to do things. Everything is calculated. Okay? I lived in Brooklyn years ago. I had a one-bedroom apartment. Guess how much I paid for the one-bedroom apartment? $180. I mean, $180. Today, the same one-bedroom apartment goes for $3,000, $3,500. Okay? Now, the same thing is going to happen in Newark. Okay? So this is Lionsgate. It's going to be built where, this is what it looks like now. They tore it down. I mean, so they're going to be building. There used to be apartments there, self-boarding homes. Where the self-boarding homes used to be, is torn down, Lionsgate. So this is what self-boarding homes. I used to sell cable TV subscriptions in this building years ago. Okay. This is self-boarding homes. Now, Wickwick Park. The same architect that designed Central Park designed Wickwick Park. Okay. Wickwick Park is going to be better than Central Park when this whole thing is done. All right, there are 4 apartment buildings near Wickwick Park. They are being renovated. This is one of them, 515 Elizabeth Avenue. They're going to be turning them into condos and Airbnb. So the people that are living there, where are they going to go? That's why you got to buy a house. All right, and Crystal will find you a house. I'll get you the money to buy the house.
I will definitely find your house.
Okay, put me on the list.
All right, 440 Elizabeth Avenue. It's being fixed. It's being, this building's empty. It's been empty for about 10 years. They got a lot of money from there because that area is going to be a transit village. So the same thing that happened at Penn Station is going to happen in Wickwick.
How soon is the Lionsgate?
On the Lionsgate, they're broken ground. Okay, so by next year or in 2 years, it'll be Lionsgate. Tyler Perry, that's how he started his studios in Atlanta. He started out as Lionsgate. Everybody's at home watching, how you call that thing? Netflix and stuff. Yeah, that's where they shoot them at. All right, so let me see if this thing works. All right, it doesn't work. I got to do a whole star. So this is fast train, right? This is for Manhattan. Right now it stops at Penn Station. You see there, the yellow, there's going to be, that's where the new train station is going to be. It's going to be by the Dayton Wickwick Park neighborhood. So this is the best, what I'm trying to tell you is that properties in the Wickwick section, they are undervalued, okay? You buy a single family, a two family, a torn down home, an upside down home today, it's like buying gold. All right, it's just going to go through the roof after the Lionsgate Studios is built. All right. Why do you want to buy homes? There are several reasons. The first one is tax benefits. You get a tax write-off. Everybody pays taxes, okay? So you get a tax deduction, tax write-off, so you can save money. If you want the details, you need to speak to your accountant. I'm not an accountant, but I know that every year you save money by owning a house. The house appreciates annually 10 to 15%. You build equity in the house and you build wealth, okay? You own the house. You can do whatever you want to do in the house. Your landlord is not going to tell you to shut up or do whatever they got to do because it's your house. You know what I mean? It gives your family stability and it's yours. Renting, like Crystal said, you're making your landlord or your landlady rich, and rent is increasing exponentially. All right, now, how do lenders think? The first thing that lenders look at is your credit. The higher your credit score, the easier it is to shop for money for you, so you get a better interest rate, okay? Because if your credit is good, you have a lot of banks fighting for your loan, okay? Monthly survival number, that has to do with budgeting, okay? We will help you come up with a budget to manage your finances. Cash is king, okay? There's mortgages, there's grants, there's programs, but you want to put away as much money as you can, okay? Income, you need to have consistent income, okay? You need to have consistent income. And the debt to income ratio. The debt to income ratio is what the banks do is that they look at your monthly debt, they take your monthly debt, they divide it by your monthly income, and then they come up with a ratio. That's how loans are, the guidelines of loans are made. So for instance, FHA loans, you have a question? Sure.
I was going to ask if they calculate student loans in your PTI.
Yes. Okay, so they do. So what happens is, okay, they run your credit, okay? They look at the minimum monthly payment is shown on the credit report. They take your income, the monthly income, and divide it, come up with a ratio, okay? So FHA, for instance, the ratio is 43%. With compensating factors, you can go as high as 50% or 55%. What are compensating factors? Let's say you've been on a job for a long time, okay? Let's say you have money in the bank, okay? Those are compensating factors, okay? But I mean, the reason why we are here is to help you get a loan. Don't worry about the DTI. Come and see me. I'll help you out. That's a better line.
That's the one.
Okay. Let me make sure I do this right. Yeah, the documents that you need to qualify for a mortgage. You need your last 2 years W-2s. So right now we're in 2023. You need your 2022. Everybody that's got their 2022 W-2s. So you need your 2022 and your 2021 W-2s. You need your last month's pay, last month or the last 2 weeks, your last 2 pay stubs, okay? And you need your last month's bank statements or retirement account, okay? Those are the documents that you need. I take a mortgage application and we're off to the races. I get you in the house. All right, let's talk about grants. We are fortunate that the city of Newark has a down payment assistance program. The way it works is, let's start with the state. So I'm licensed with the state to originate grants. There are what is called high-cost counties and low-cost counties. SS County is a high-cost county. It's expensive to live in SS County, right? So you get $15,000. The low-cost counties are counties like Atlantic County, Cape May County, Ocean County. The cost of living is low there. So there you get $10,000. Then there's a city grant, the City of Newark grant, okay? The City of Newark grant is $10,000 to live in, if you're going to live in Newark, and then $5,000, an additional $5,000 if you're a Newark employee. So you can combine the grants, okay? So you can get a grant for $15,000 from the state, and then get a grant for $10,000 from the city of Newark. But the caveat is the city of Newark has to agree to subordinate to the state. What does subordinate to the state mean? Come behind the state. So let's say the house goes into foreclosure, the state gets paid before the city gets paid. Okay? If you are a Newark City employee, you can get another $5,000. So you can get, if we play our cards right, you can get up to $30,000 for your down payment and your closing cost. Okay? So there's no reason why anybody else shouldn't buy a house. Money is not a problem. Go ahead.
Just a word about that. So he's talking about down payment assistance. So I just closed on a house with a young lady in Plainfield, and she got her down payment covered, her complete down payment covered. So let's say it was like $11,000. She got that covered under the, she was a city employee, so she got that. And then for her closing costs, I got her a seller's concession. A seller's concession is when the seller grants money to the buyer. So here's what happened. We put in the offer, right, a higher offer. But then when the appraisal came back, the appraisal was $8,000 less than her initial offer. So we got a concession for that. Now, we met in the middle. So she put in an offer for $370. The appraisal came back at $362. So we said, okay, we can meet in the middle, and it came to $365. But then I was able to negotiate with the seller and get her a $3,000 concession. So she walked away with a house that she put for $370 for $362, the price of the appraisal. You can do that. I do know someone, it wasn't my client, but it was another client of someone else who walked away and got all their fees taken care of. They got down payment assistance in the front end, and in the back end, they got a seller's concession of like $10,000. So it's very possible with the right realtor to walk away and not have to pay a whole lot of money. That's it.
Great job.
Question, yes. Like in the loan side, because this was like the student, what was her credit like at her loan issue? How was it? Because that also comes into play, right?
She had stellar credit. However, it doesn't matter the credit when you got the pre-approval. When you got the pre-approval, no one cares what your credit is. So if you have the right realtor, you can get a lot of those fees waived. You work with the right bank. You get the right realtor, you don't have to worry about paying all those closing costs and down payment. You get your down payment covered on the front end, and on the back end, when you close, when you go to the closing table, we can negotiate. Let me tell you, this is not a seller's market the way it was in 2022, early 2022, end of 2021, where houses were flying off the market, bidding $50,000 and $80,000 over. We didn't put that much over. We only put a few thousand over, still got the house and got a concession. So it's a different market.
Talking about concessions, let me give you some more information about concessions. So FHA, you can get up to 6% seller's concession. What does that mean? That means, all right, let me use the board. My handwriting is not as nice as Crystal's, but all right. So let's say you buy the house. Let's use easy numbers. You buy the house for $100,000, right? And then the loan amount is $96,500, right? What a seller concession means is that the seller can take, let's use some easy numbers, can contribute up to $6,000 towards your closing costs. Okay? That's 666. Okay? That's a seller's concession. All right? So if the house is $500,000, you multiply the $6,000 by 5. Okay? $30,000. The closing cost is not going to be $30,000. but you can buy a house with no closing costs. Okay? You can go for a grant. Okay? You can go for a down payment assistance, and that will cover potentially cover your down payment, or you can get a gift of equity. A gift of equity is where the seller gives you money for the down payment. Right.
Are there any income restrictions with the grants?
Yes. So it has to do with affordable. I don't know. I don't commit it to memory.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, it has to do with the AMI, affordable average medium income, area medium income. Right. So AMI, exactly. So there are different. There are restrictions. Okay. So we went over the grants already. Oh, with the state, so I forgot about the program that the city has. The city has a program, this is Newark. They have a program called the Facade Program. So if you have a house, they can give you $20,000 to fix up the house. That's a program. It's just, you just gotta apply for it and you get it. Now the state also has a program. It's called, they'll give you up to $75,000 if you can show them that you were affected by COVID. So if you were current on your mortgage up until 2020 when COVID started, and then you lost your job, you lost your business due to some COVID-related stuff, they give you up to $75,000 to bring your mortgage current, bring your taxes current, and fix the house up. Those are the eligibility guidelines. So what makes up your monthly mortgage payment? The first thing is principal. The principal is the portion of the loan that is how much you borrowed from the bank. Interest is what the bank charges you for lending you the money. Taxes is what is charged by the municipality. We have no control over that. I mean, you can appeal your taxes, but the municipality controls the taxes, okay? Then there's a homeowner's insurance. This protects you against financial loss. Then there's a mortgage insurance, which I just spoke about, the PMI and MIP. This is a contract that protects the lender against loss caused by the borrower's default on a government or conventional loan. Yes? What? No. Most people, the question was, do you need insurance? Do you have PMI on land? You don't have private mortgage insurance, okay? Now, most people who buy land cash, okay? But if you own land, it's advisable to get insurance just in case somebody trips on your sidewalk, you don't get, and they sue you, you're covered. You're protected. Did I answer your question?
Yes, and do you also offer auction?
Auction what?
Auction.
No, if you go to the auction, it's all cash. Auctions are all cash. Alright?
Pay for the full amount?
When you go for an auction, you got like 100 people in the room there, they got cash. Alright? So maybe you buy cash, it's all cash. Now everything's done virtually. Back in the day, they had the auction right here. Right here. Everybody in the big room. And $100, $200. This still happen?
Yes.
I haven't been there in a long time. I used to enjoy going to watch it.
Sometimes people, when they say auction, they mean foreclosure. You mean foreclosure? You don't mean that. You mean auction, cash.
Cash. You can buy a foreclosure with a mortgage.
Yeah, you can buy it.
Right.
Yes.
How you doing? All right, so we are already, if you are in a condo, you have to pay homeowners association dues. Closing costs. What makes up closing costs? First, there's the origination fee. That is the fee that you pay to the lender for lending you money. Then there's the title insurance and fees. So the title company does research on your house, to make sure that you don't have any encumbrances on the deed, on the title, okay? And then they insure it. So that is title insurance. So you pay for that at closing. Prepaid. Prepaid covers interest due between your closing date and your first month payment. Then there's escrow costs. Escrow is for insurance and taxes. I'm sorry?
No.
Okay. Now, your closing costs also, you pay for appraisals. You can pay for the appraisal upfront or at closing. Usually on the refi, sometimes you can pay it at closing, but usually you have to pay it upfront. Then you pay for transfer taxes. This is the city, county, or state's fee for change of ownership in the property. Then there's a recording fee. This is a fee paid to the county clerk for recording the deed and mortgage and changing the property, the property billing information. Points. This is the fee paid to the lender for a reduced interest rate and other fees. Anything else that you might be at closing, speak to me. I'll let you know what else you got to pay at closing. Factors that affect your credit score. Your payment history is 35% of your credit score. Everything is driven by, everything in mortgages is driven by your FICO score, okay? So you want to pay your bills on time. The amount of money that you owe is another 30%. So you don't want to owe too much money. You want to pay down your debt as much as possible. The credit mix, the type of credits that you use, that's 10%. So certain, let's say store cards are not as important, are not as valuable as Visa card or our American Express cards, okay? The total credit usage, the balance and available credit, you want to keep your balances as low as possible. That's how you get a high score. Payment history is influential. Age of credit history is less influential. So I'm doing a deal now for a lady. She paid all her debt down and closed the accounts. Now she has no score. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. Okay? You can pay it down. Maybe you leave a little bit of debt. That way your score goes up. So now she has no score. So when I told her, when she first came in the room, she was all cocky. I got perfect credit. I got hey, listen, you ain't got no credit.
Question. So what is good to do? So if you pay it off, still keep that card?
Yes.
And minimize the use?
Don't even pay it off. Don't ever pay it off completely. Have, keep a minimum balance.
Knowledge is power, because what she did is what makes sense.
Yeah, that's what makes sense, but it doesn't make sense if you're going to get a mortgage. It makes sense in life.
What about the person who has no credit at all?
Okay, good question. I'm working with another client right now. She has no credit. So we're using her rent, we're using her cable TV, we're using her PSE&G, and we're using, what's the fourth one? 4 trade lines. You need 3 trade lines, but we're creating 4 trade lines for her. Yeah, the Netflix, the monthly bill. So in subscriptions. So what she did was, most people pay their bills online, right? So all you got to do is get me 12 months bank statements. I give it to the underwriter. They do whatever they do. I'm part of a team, okay? So I'm the originator. I just collect the documents and give it to them in the application. They do whatever they do. The next thing you know, you got 4 trade lines. We close.
I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, can like investment in the stock market or stuff like that be used as a component of like income?
Well, it's used as assets. It's used as assets. So yeah, that could be used as to proof of funds. Okay, it's a good question. That is not your income. Your income is how much you make. The stock is you made an investment, it appreciated. Okay. Okay. Good question. It depends. It depends on when you close and when the first payment is due. Okay. Sometimes it could be 1 month. Sometimes it could be 2 months. Okay. That's when you make your first payment. That's what you want to know, right? Now, let me give you another example. Let's say I'm doing a loan for a client right now. My license is with Cross Country Mortgage, one of the largest mortgage companies in the country. Client has a mortgage with Cross Country Mortgage. We are refinancing them with Cross Country Mortgage. So they're going to get 4 months without making a payment. All right. The credit score guide. 740 plus is excellent credit. 680 to 739 is very good credit. 640 to 679. It's okay. 639 and lower is fair, challenging. We can still get you financing, but we have to jump through hoops. I'm willing to jump through hoops for you. 1 in 5 Americans have errors on their credit report, so you should check your credit every year. You can go online and check it, myfreecreditreport.com. Okay, or if you can, if you are applying with us for a mortgage, the first thing we do is we take your application, we run your credit, we take your income documents, then we go through your mortgage payment with you to identify errors, and we tell you what to do to fix it.
But when every time you run a credit, it goes down, right?
Yeah.
You lose some points.
It depends on how it's run.
Okay.
It depends on how it's run, but for the most part, yes. But let's say you have soft inquiries and hard inquiries. The soft inquiries will not affect your credit score. Now another thing, let's say you have
What is a soft?
a soft inquiry. So let's say no, buying a home is a hard inquiry.
Phone.
A phone, right? It's a soft inquiry. I'm sorry.
Some of the store.
That's 50-50. That's hard. That's a hard school. That's hard. Right. That's hard. But credit comes down 5 points and it goes right back up the following month if you pay your bills on time. Okay. So these are tips.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Say, especially during the COVID, when people, got sick and so on, so if you have hospital bills that have not been paid, and you owe, is that frowned upon? Is
Yes.
that considered?
Yes, it is. Especially if it becomes a collection. Okay? So, but what you want to the way around that is you want to pick up the phone, call them up, work out the payment plan with them, and stick to the payment plan, and then we do what we got to do.
There is no forgiveness for that.
There's no forgiveness for that. There's no forgiveness. This is America. Nobody forgives debt.
So there's no form of loan forgiveness anywhere in this country?
Bankruptcy.
But can a normal person apply for bankruptcy?
What?
Like us, like students, can we just
If you're a student, why are you going to apply for bankruptcy for? You just had a life. Anyway, so these are all steps to improve your credit scores. I'm going to expedite things in the interest of time. These are how your credit scores are calculated. I can sit down with you and explain it to you, but they're scoring models. What's a good credit score? We went over that already. A good credit score is 670 to 739. What affects your credit scores? Payment history, credit usage, length of credit history, types of accounts, and recent activity. This does not affect your credit scores. Your race, your color, your religion, national origin, sex, your age. This has nothing to do with your credit score. Soft increase has nothing to do with your credit score. Our mission. So our mission is to originate loans for you, make the process as easy as possible for you, okay? We bend over backwards to get you your financing. That's what we do. If we don't get you financing, we don't get paid. All right, let's go over mortgage programs. So conventional mortgage programs, we have down payments as low as 3%. The terms are from 10 to 30 years. You got fixed rate and adjustable rate. Fixed rate, the rate is fixed for 30 years or 40 years or 15 years. The adjustable rate is fixed for 3 years, then it starts adjusting. Okay? That's called a 3-1. Then there's the 5-1, which is fixed for 5 years, and it starts adjusting. And then there's another adjustable rate that's fixed for 7 years, and then it starts adjusting. So let's say right now your interest rate is 7 or 8%. If you think that interest rates are going to drop in the future, you go with an adjustable rate mortgage. when the rates drop, you can refinance. If you think that rates are going to go up, you want to lock it in on a fixed, okay? Now, if you know you're going to stay in the house for less than 7 years, you want to get an adjustable rate mortgage. If you're going to stay in the house for more than 7 years, you want to get a fixed rate mortgage, okay? We also do Chase CRA loans. CRA is Community Reinvestment Act loans, okay? Where we have, so Chase has set aside money. The big banks have set aside money for towns like Newark for people to buy homes, okay? So they have better, lenient terms. And they also have grants. Then there's the VA loans. Crystal spoke to us about VA loans. That's for veterans. You can get up to 100% financing, okay? You don't need mortgage insurance. Rates as low as $580. You can get a seller's concession of up to 4%. There's no prepayment penalty. Closing costs are limited by the VA. You can use it for purchase, refinance, and we offer credit counseling. FHA 3.5% down. USDA loans, these are for rural areas. The USDA loan is organized by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and no down payment is required. Closing costs can be financed into the loan. We have streamlined refinances. These are easy refinances. And we also do second mortgages. We have jumbo loans. Those are big loans. And then I already went over this before. We have up to 40-year fixed loans. We have asset qualifier loans where they look at your assets. You can get a loan based on your assets. Like you said, the stocks. Yeah, if you have enough stocks, you can use that alone to get a mortgage. There's a way to do that. Bank statements. That was the example I gave you since you are self-employed. Bridge loan. That's temporary financing. A lot of guys that buy, let's say you buy foreclosures, you buy distressed properties, we can get you bridge loans to buy the property and fix it up. But you got to have some of your own money. We have doctor and physician loans with 0% down payment. We have foreign national loans. We have full dark loans. We have high debt to income ratio loans, which is up to 55%. But that's subject to qualification. FHA loans, I believe we went over FHA loans already. We have interest-only programs, jumbo programs, recent credit events. Let's say you have late bankruptcies, foreclosure, we can still get you a mortgage. We have second liens, blanket loans. Blanket loans, that's a mortgage that covers several properties. We have Canada income owner-operated self-employed loans. We have construction to permanent jumbo one-time close. In other words, we'll give you the loan to build a house and stay in the house. You don't have to go get one loan to build a house and then refinance and get another loan. First lien, home equity loan, fix and flip loans, investment loans, rehab loans, IT loans. If you don't have a social security number but you have an individual tax ID number, we can get you mortgages. Lot loans. You had asked me if you can borrow money to buy land. You can, but you need to put down some of your own money, a lot of your own money. Low or no FICO loans, we do those. We fix your credit to take you to the house. We do loans for manufactured homes.
So the FICO score is the only score that you pay attention to when you're buying?
Well, the FICO score is important. Your income is important also because you're going to use it to calculate the debt to income ratio, and then your assets.
No, I know that. I'm going to talk about like the credit score.
Okay.
So just the FICO score.
FICO score is very important. When I say, okay, there are different credit scores out there.
Right.
So when I say FICO, I mean all of them. Okay. Okay. But so it has to do with the three main views. Okay. Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Okay. Am I going backward or forward? Yeah, eligible property tax. Condominiums, condo hotels, those are condos in hotels. We do loans for cooperatives, manufactured and modular homes, non-warrantable condos. Non-warrantable condos are condos that most banks stay away from. Planned urban development, 1 to 4 family units and townhomes. We've done all this already. Veteran loans, we did this already, right? Okay, these are the steps to the mortgage process. I'll meet with you to discuss the mortgage process and answer any questions that you have. I'll take your mortgage information. I need your last month's pay stubs, or the last 2 pay stubs, 2021 and 2020, W2. I need to update this. I did this last year.
Yes.
So it's 2022 and 2021, W2 and income tax returns, your bank statements and retirement account. You'll be contacted by one of my team members to make sure that we did everything, to answer any questions that you have, okay? And then, if there are any missing documents, we get them from you, and then the package goes to the processor. The processor will start reviewing your documents within 24 hours and complete the review within 2 days of receipt. The processor will then submit your loan to underwriting. The underwriter will review the file within 24 hours. If any conditions are missing, let's say you need title, you need insurance, service, whatever you need, the file comes back to us, we tell you what we need, and then we satisfy the conditions, it goes back to the underwriter, you have a closing, and the house is yours. You need to stop paying rent and start paying your mortgage right now. Very soon you will not be able to afford your rent if you already own a home buy and investment property. Okay. Oh, that's the end.
Okay. And how do we contact you, Chris? We need more information on the tobacco. How do we contact you?
If you need more information, you can talk to us offline. You can follow me on social media or Mr. Samuel Ajengba under his name, under my name, Crystal Wallace. I just wanted to say one more thing before we, just one quick thing. The process of buying a home, right? First you talk to Mr. Samuel Ajengba, Commissioner Samuel Ajengba. First you're gonna talk to him and he will get you pre-approved. You cannot go shopping without money in your pocket. So make sure that you have a pre-approval. Unless you're paying for a house in cash, you wanna make sure you get pre-approved by Mr. Samuel Ajengba. After that, then you talk to me. I'm gonna help you find a house. We're gonna go out and look for houses. What I do typically for all new clients is I'll put you on what's called an auto email, which you'll get listings for houses in your price range, and you'll get that every morning sent to you at 5 o'clock in the morning. One of my clients asked me, oh, I got an email from you at 5 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, oh, I didn't know you were up that early. I'm like, I'm not. 5 o'clock comes once a day for me. So it's an auto email. I'll set you up. You get listings every single day with listings in your price range. After that, what I'll do is I'll put in an offer for you. So when you put in an offer, you see a house, you like it, we place an offer, right? Let's say that offer gets accepted. Your offer gets accepted. Now we are under contract, right? The seller agrees to sell to you. You agree to purchase from the seller. After that, then we go into what's called attorney review. If you don't have an attorney, I can recommend one to you. I have a male and a female, so whoever you like to talk to more, if it doesn't matter, then great, but I have someone you can talk to. That's an attorney that can help you, a real estate attorney, who can help you along the way. After we get out of attorney review, typically during that time period, they go over the process, right? The contract. They go over the contract, they cater it to that particular property, and once they agree on everything, all the terms in that particular contract, after they redo it, then we are out of attorney review. Now we're under contract, for real. Okay, then we have an inspection. Now, inspections are a buyer's expense. So typically you're looking at anywhere from $500 to, let's say, $700. So just put aside $1,000 for that inspection. You're gonna inspect the house and so on. He'll tell you everything that's wrong or right with the house. All right. Then we have the appraisal. The appraiser will come out. That's ordered from the bank. I'll tell Mr. Samuel Jangba, hey, we're ready to order appraisal. He's going to get right on and have his people call the appraiser, and that appraiser will come appraise the house. After we get everything, the amounts and all that, the inspection report, let's say that there are things wrong with the house that you want fixed before you move into it, we'll let the seller know. Sometimes the seller will fix it themselves, and then what they'll sometimes do is I can talk to them about giving a credit in lieu of the repairs. Typically of no more than $10,000, right? Okay. After we do that, now guess what? We are ready to close. And then when you go to the closing table, it's administered by the title. During that time, the title company would have run title, and if it's clear and we're ready to go, there's no cloud on title, then we're ready to go to the closing. At the closing table, I come with some cake, probably a bottle of wine or champagne, and maybe a small little gift. And then we're done. Everyone, thank you so much for coming. We hope that it was informative for you. Mr. Samuel Jangba. This is my guy. This is my guy. He really is. He's great. He really is. He'll take the time with you. And then also me. You guys can talk to us offline. You can find him on social media. We can, whatever it is, we can talk more offline. Thank you so much.
Thank you.